The island had no name on any commercial map, 12 nautical miles off the Iranian coastline, deep inside the Strait of Hormuz, officially listed in Iranian naval records as a weather monitoring station. Satellite imagery from 3 years ago showed nothing but rock, sand, and 2 small concrete structures. The imagery from last Tuesday showed something very different: underground construction, massive ventilation shafts, power cables running beneath solid rock, radar installations pointing directly at the Lincoln's transit corridor, and thermal signatures, the kind that do not come from weather equipment. US Naval Intelligence had been watching this island for 11 months, building a picture. Piece by piece, signals intercepts, satellite passes, submarine acoustic surveys, drone overflights disguised as commercial traffic. What they found changed every single calculation about Iran's capabilities in the Strait. This was not a weather station. This was a fully operational underground missile coordination center, designed specifically to guide swarm attacks against US carrier strike groups transiting Hormuz. The facility that would turn 44 IRGC fast attack boats from a disorganized mob into a precision-guided weapon system. Without this base, the swarm is blind. With it, the Lincoln is vulnerable. 840,000 barrels of oil flow through this strait every single hour. If this facility becomes fully operational, Iran gains the ability to threaten every single one of those barrels, not with brute force, with precision, with an underground brain that coordinates every boat, every missile battery, every one-way attack drone simultaneously. DEVGRU. At 2:17 a.m. on a moonless night, 8 U.S. Navy SEALs dropped into black water 1 mile from the island's eastern shore. Tehran never knew they were coming. What happened in the next 43 minutes became the most daring covert naval operation in the Persian Gulf since Operation Earnest Will. This is that story. To understand why this facility changed everything, you need to understand what Iran was actually building. For 2 decades, the IRGC's swarm doctrine had one fundamental weakness: coordination. 44 fast attack boats launching simultaneously from 3 different coastal positions, moving at 55 knots in the confined waters of the strait, require real-time command and control to function as a unified weapon. Without a coordination center, boat commanders are operating on pre-planned routes, static, predictable. They're easily countered by the Aegis combat system. With an underground coordination center, everything changes. Real-time targeting data pushed to every boat simultaneously. Radar tracking the carrier's exact position, speed, and heading, updated every 4 seconds. Electronic warfare coordination, jamming US communications while keeping IRGC channels clear. And most critically, the ability to redirect the entire swarm mid-engagement based on how the US defensive response develops. This was not just a base, it was a brain, and the US Navy had exactly 1 window to eliminate it before it went fully operational. That window was closing in 72 hours. Here is what most people do not understand about Navy SEALs. The popular image, the action movie version, misses the most important thing. SEALs are not primarily fighters. They are primarily intelligence collectors who can fight their way out of any situation on Earth. The 8 operators who entered the water at 2:17 a.m. were SEAL Team 6, officially known as Naval Special Warfare Development Group, DEVGRU. The most selective military unit in the United States Armed Forces. Selection rate, less than 2%. Average operator has 12 years of special operations experience before reaching this level. Their mission that night was not destruction, it was intelligence. Get inside the facility, document everything, copy every hard drive, photograph every system, map every tunnel. And if the opportunity presented itself, place demolition charges on the 3 systems that Naval Intelligence had identified as irreplaceable. The custom Iranian radar integration software, the encrypted communications array, and the power distribution hub that tied the entire underground network together. Destroy those 3 systems, and the facility becomes an expensive hole in the ground. They had a 43-minute window, before the Iranian guard rotation changed. 8 men, 43 minutes, 1 chance. The operation that night was not 8 SEALs swimming alone in the dark. It was 8 SEALs at the tip of a kill chain that stretched from the ocean floor to low Earth orbit. At 30,000 feet, a P-8A Poseidon maritime patrol aircraft was flying a wide orbit pattern that appeared identical to its standard anti-submarine route. Its APY-10 radar was mapping every Iranian vessel within 80 nautical miles, every guard boat, every patrol pattern, every radar sweep from the island's surface installations. So all of it pushed via Link 16 to the SEALs' wrist-mounted tactical displays in real time. Below the surface, USS Indiana, Virginia-class attack submarine, positioned 400 meters off the island's western approach, silent as a shadow, its advanced sonar arrays monitoring every acoustic signature around the facility. The moment any Iranian vessel changed course toward the island, the SEALs would receive an immediate alert. Above the horizon, 2 FA-18 Super Hornets, holding at 18,000 feet with weapons hot. Their job was simple. If the SEALs needed to leave in a hurry, those aircraft would ensure nothing Iranian could follow them into the water. And on the surface, 3 nautical miles east, a Mark 6 patrol boat running without lights, 2 combat rescue swimmers in the water. A rigid hull inflatable boat ready to launch in under 90 seconds. 8 SEALs went in. But behind them, an entire fleet was watching. 2:17 a.m., 8 SEALs enter the water, full combat load, closed circuit rebreathers, 0 bubble signature. Iranian surface radar cannot detect a swimmer at this depth. Water temperature, 19 degrees Celsius. Visibility underwater, near 0. Navigation by wrist-mounted GPS and compass only. 2:31 a.m., SEALs reach the island's eastern shore. 14 minutes of underwater approach. P-8A confirms 0 Iranian personnel on the eastern face. Guard rotation is on the western side. Window is open. 2:34 a.m. Breach team reaches the facility's secondary ventilation access point. A steel grate, welded shut from the inside. The lead SEAL produces a thermal lance, compact. It is silent compared to conventional cutting tools. The weld dissolves in 40 seconds. 2:35 a.m. First 2 SEALs enter the ventilation shaft. The shaft is 60 centimeters wide. Full combat kit requires them to move in single file. The shaft drops 8 meters vertically before leveling into a horizontal run toward the main operations floor. 2:38 a.m. SEALs reach the operations floor. The facility is more advanced than any intelligence estimate predicted. 3 separate radar integration consoles, a communications array with 12 encrypted channels, 47 hard drives in a central server rack, and on the far wall, a tactical display showing the real-time position of USS Abraham Lincoln. Updated, live. The facility was already partially operational. Lead SEAL transmits single-burst transmission to USS Indiana. 1 word, jackpot. 2:41 a.m. Intelligence collection begins. Specialized data extraction devices, the size of a USB drive, inserted into every server port simultaneously. Downloading at maximum transfer rate. Estimated download time, 9 minutes. Demolition team begins placing charges on the 3 priority targets. Radar integration software console. Communications array. Power distribution hub. 2:43 a.m. P-8A transmits alert. Iranian Guard Patrol, 2 personnel, has deviated from standard rotation, moving toward the eastern ventilation access point, ETA to breach point, 6 minutes. 2:44 a.m. SEAL team leader makes the call. Accelerate extraction. Priority 1, the hard drives. Priority 2, the demolition charges. Everything else, secondary. 2:47 a.m. Data extraction complete. 47 hard drives copied. Demolition charges set. In timer, 4 minutes. SEALs begin movement back toward ventilation shaft. 2:49 a.m. 2 SEALs are back in the ventilation shaft moving toward surface egress. Iranian Guard Patrol reaches eastern face. 1 guard notices the cut ventilation grate. Radio transmission begins. 2:50 a.m. SEAL team leader transmits 2 words to the P-8A. Compromise. Extract. Immediately, FA-18 Super Hornets begin descent from 18,000 feet. Mark 6 patrol boat accelerates toward the island. Combat rescue swimmers enter the water. 2:51 a.m. All 8 SEALs surface on the eastern shore. Iranian alarm sounding inside the facility. Searchlights activating on the western face. 2 Iranian patrol boats departing the island's small harbor. 2:51 a.m. and 30 seconds. Demolition charges detonate inside the facility. 3 sequential explosions underground, contained. No surface fireball. But the electromagnetic pulse from the power distribution hub detonation, every electronic system in the facility goes dark simultaneously. The radar integration consoles, gone. The communications array, gone. The server rack, gone. The live feed showing the Lincoln's position, a blank screen. 2:53 a.m. SEALs reach the rigid hull inflatable. All 8 aboard, moving at 45 knots toward the Mark 6 patrol boat. 2:54 a.m. Iranian patrol boats at 800 meters and closing. FA-18 pilot transmits on open frequency. Iranian vessels, you are within weapons engagement zone. Recommend you cease pursuit immediately. Both Iranian patrol boats stop. 2:57 a.m. All 8 SEALs aboard the Mark 6 patrol boat, transferring to USS Indiana's deck via combat swimmer transfer. 43 hard drives of Iranian operational data going below the surface with them. 3 a.m. USS Indiana submerges. Gone. 43 minutes, 0 casualties, 0 shots fired. The most advanced Iranian military facility in the Strait of Hormuz, neutralized without a single visible explosion on the surface. By 6 a.m., Iranian state media had a problem. They could not report what happened. Reporting it meant admitting the facility existed. Admitting the facility existed meant admitting to every nation monitoring the strait that Iran had been secretly building an underground military coordination center on an island it had publicly designated a weather station. So they said nothing. Officially, nothing happened that night, but satellite imagery told a different story. Thermal sensors detected the residual heat signature of 3 contained underground detonations. Electronic intelligence confirmed the complete cessation of all signals from the island's position. And US Naval Intelligence, now in possession of 47 hard drives, began reading 3 years of Iranian operational planning before sunrise. Every swarm attack route, every contingency, every backup coordination protocol, every Iranian naval asset position in the Gulf. 3 years of intelligence collected in 9 minutes by a data extraction device the size of a USB drive. Global reaction was measured because officially nothing happened. But in the corridors of every Gulf nation's defense ministry, the message was received clearly. The US Navy had found Iran's most secret facility, had entered it, had copied everything inside it, and had neutralized it all before the Iranian guard rotation changed. If America can do this to a secret underground facility, what else can they reach? Here is what this operation actually proved. Modern warfare is not decided by the size of your navy. It is not decided by the number of missiles in your inventory. It is not even decided by the sophistication of your underground facilities. It is decided by information. Iran spent 3 years and hundreds of millions of dollars building a facility designed to give them an information advantage over the US Navy in the Strait of Hormuz. A brain that would make their swarm doctrine unstoppable. A coordination center that would finally solve the one weakness that had made their doctrine vulnerable to the Aegis combat system. 8 SEALs and a 9-minute data transfer turned that investment into an intelligence gift for Washington. Every Iranian swarm route, every contingency plan, every backup system, everything Tehran spent 3 years building in secret, now sitting on a server in a US Naval Intelligence facility in Bahrain. This is what the US military calls information dominance, and it is not achieved by the most expensive weapon. It is achieved by the most patient intelligence operation. 11 months of watching, building a picture, waiting for the right window, and then 8 men in the water at 2:17 a.m. who trusted their training, trusted their equipment, and trusted the fleet watching over them from above and below. Iran built a brain to defeat the US Navy in the Strait. The US Navy walked in, copied the brain, and turned the lights off on the way out. The Strait of Hormuz is open. The Lincoln transits freely. And somewhere in Bahrain, an intelligence analyst is on page 847 of 3,000 pages of Iranian operational planning that arrived before sunrise. Tehran never saw it coming. They still do not know how much was taken. Here is my question to you. Iran spent 3 years and hundreds of millions of dollars on this facility. 8 SEALs neutralized it in 43 minutes without firing a single shot. In your opinion, which element of this operation was most decisive? The intelligence collection over 11 months, the data extraction inside the facility, or the demolition of the 3 irreplaceable systems? Comment below. I read every single one. If this tactical breakdown changed how you understand covert naval operations, hit the like button and subscribe, because the next classified file is already being prepared. Trust me, you will not want to miss it. The events, dialogues, military operations, and outcomes depicted in this video are entirely fictional and created purely for educational and entertainment purposes. This is a hypothetical what-if scenario based on publicly available information about real-world military capabilities, weapon systems, and geopolitical tensions. No part of this video should be interpreted as a factual report of real events. All military engagements, casualty figures, and operational details shown are dramatized and do not represent actual incidents. We do not glorify war or violence. Our goal is to analyze military technology and doctrine in an engaging format. Viewer discretion is advised.